Hi everyone, it's me, Arielle, and it's Wednesday Warriors, and this week is all about anorexia. So I have a few topics that I was given for Wednesday, and the first thing that I want to talk about quickly is factors of anorexia nervosa genetics. Basically, first of all, the thing that I want to get across is this is a mental illness. It's actually the mental illness that is the cause of most deaths. Genetics can definitely play a part in anorexia. There are many solid arguments that certain people are predisposed to develop anorexia. I'm sure that you have heard this or are aware of this or are a product of this yourself. There are also many arguments that it can run in a family genetically. For example, if your mother has anorexia, you're more likely to develop it. There is some dispute that this is because it is part of your environment and you can learn it or pick up on it as part of normal life, but there's also research that it is actually in genes, making you more likely to become anorexic even if you lived separate from your mother. So that's an interesting thing to take into account. If other addictions or mental illnesses run in your family, many think it is more likely you will develop anorexia as well. For example, alcoholism. You may not become an alcoholic, but become anorexic instead, as if that is your drug of choice because you fit the personality type or the genetic makeup. The other really important thing that I want to say is it is within your power to choose recovery, and it is your responsibility to get help for yourself, as with any problem. But again, it is an illness, just like depression, diabetes, or bipolar disorder are illnesses. It is an illness. It is not a lifestyle a person chooses. You don't wake up one day and decide to be anorexic. If this is a scenario that you have seen or done, it's not anorexia nervosa. Anorexia nervosa is a disease, and it is a fight to overcome it. That said, there are many factors that can contribute to anorexia. One, a few, or all of the following can contribute to anorexia nervosa. Dieting behavior in family and friends, perfectionism, pre-existing anxiety disorder or obsessive personality, bullying, and abuse. Those are my topics for this week's video, and I'm going to talk about them one by one. I'd also suggest actually that you check out my friend Kathy's channel. I will put a link to it here. She talks about anorexia nervosa frequently and has a lot of really good points, topics, and thoughts on the subject, especially regarding anorexia nervosa as a mental illness, which it is, and as anorexia nervosa regarding abuse. So just something to give you there. So the first thing, dieting behavior in family and friends. A huge percentage of those with anorexia started with a diet. It seems harmless or even normal, but it can quickly turn really serious, unhealthy, and even deadly. And this is something that many of us already know. Dieting behavior of others close to you can really impact your own desires to be thin, but what's more, actually, it can spark something inside of you that seeks control, comfort, or become a coping mechanism. And that's usually more often the case, actually, with anorexia nervosa, that is. You might never know that you would have a problem until you begin dieting and find yourself heading down a bad path with very little ability to stop yourself. Someone with anorexia nervosa doesn't have to be underweight. You can start off at a much higher weight and have a serious eating disorder, causing you to lose significant amounts of weight and thus be anorexic, lose a large part of your body weight, eat very little when at all, while not looking emaciated. So that's another really important point. I think people don't realize that you don't have to, be 60 pounds, 70 pounds, really, really overtly thin in order to be anorexic. So the second topic here is perfectionism, and I love to talk about perfectionism. A lot of people with anorexia nervosa are perfectionists, and this can have nothing to do with the body. I was a perfectionist in a lot of ways, grades in school, practices, needing to be the best at so many things. It's a personality trait. and it can really fuel anorexia nervosa. I did a video quite a while ago about perfectionism and imperfection, and I'm going to post the link to that so you can check that out. It applies a lot to this video, but I only have 10 minutes, so I'm going to put that for you guys. And then the next topic in regards to anorexia nervosa is pre-existing anxiety disorder and obsessive personality. For me, this goes along with perfectionism. I used to have serious problems with anxiety, and it was one more thing to overcome in addition to my anorexia. The two played off of each other. I had the obsessive personality too, which again was coupled with the perfectionism for me, and I think you can kind of see how those two relate to each other and go hand in hand. Sometimes medication can help the anxiety disorder, and while it's not treating the anorexia, it allows you more peace to be able to work on recovery for the eating disorder when you're more free of anxiety and obsessive tendencies. What else? I didn't use medication, so I can't speak personally on it, but I do know many, many women who have used a variety of different medications with great success. And I also do believe that for some, medication can be used as a temporary tool until you learn how to better control anxiety on your own. For some, it's a permanent tool, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. A lot of people get really self-conscious, really down on themselves about basically using medication for life. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. Again, anorexia nervosa, it's an illness just like many other illnesses. It's a disease. And however you can successfully live your life and live with that, that's what you need to do. That's what you owe to yourself. And for other people, you can work really hard to overcome anxiety without medication at all. It could be a harder road, or it could be because you have different forms of anxiety, but that's definitely perfectly possible as well. And then our next topic is bullying. I was personally a victim of bullying, and this happened when I was around 11, and it was really bad. It hurt me terribly, as you can imagine, but it was very detrimental because it happened at a crucial time in my life and in my development that it just had serious repercussions. And I do believe that it's a form of abuse. I really do believe that bullying is a form of abuse. I know some people don't feel that that's the case, and I certainly don't liken it to certain kinds of abuse, but abuse is abuse, and there are many different kinds of abuse along the spectrum. Bullying can happen starting at a very early age. I heard a coworker talking about her granddaughter who's in preschool. She's just turned 5, and the preschool teacher talking about how many of the little girls in the class are already, catty and, being really mean to each other. So that was hard to swallow. Basically, bullying is about breaking a person down, harming their mental state when a battle is already going on in there, or causing a mental battle or setting off the mental illness of anorexia nervosa. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about quickly is abuse. I'm not personally a victim of physical or sexual abuse. Again, I know many women who are, and it's something that is very dear to my heart, and by that I mean I'm really passionate about stopping violence against women, specifically, but obviously stopping violence in general. But it's definitely something that I feel very strongly about and really upsets me. Clearly, this can really affect the development of anorexia nervosa, or sort of play a part in it if you already have developed anorexia nervosa. It can play a part in hindering your recovery. I would say, a victim of emotional abuse parentally, and obviously, as I said before, a victim of bullying. So I can understand it to a certain extent, but by no means would I say that I understand it 100%. Again, it can set off those alarms. It can set off anorexia nervosa where before it was dormant. So in a nutshell, those are the topics for today in regards to anorexia. And I hope you found it helpful and informative. And if you have any other questions, drop them by, and definitely check out my friend Kathy's channel, because she is a great one to basically start discussions about this, and she has a lot of really good things to say and a lot of personal experience to say those things. So I hope you all have a great week, and hope you're all doing really well. Bye, guys.